today I'm gonna teach you something. So the other day I'm riding my bike, and across the street I see this girl who is objectively fucking gorgeous. Okay, she's one of the girls that in the first millisecond it's a yes. Okay, you know exactly what I mean. So immediately across the street I approach her. She's taken aback a little because she wasn't expecting to be approached. And we chatted for 30 or 60 seconds, and then she said that she has a boyfriend, and then she left. Now, sometimes when girls say they have a boyfriend, they lie. But sometimes they tell the truth. And I'm able to usually tell which one is which. Why? Because I'm very aware of how I come across. There's times where I might be a little nervous or I might be a little off. And there's times where I'm completely original, completely authentic, completely fucking real, and that's incredibly attractive because you see, women are attracted to behavior the kind of way that we men are attracted to looks and femininity and boobs, and girls are attracted to masculinity and behavior and status and things like that. And I'll make another video talking about all of this, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to jump into that. I'm just going to say that I know when a girl is attracted to me and when a girl's not, and consequently I know when a girl lies or is telling the truth when she tells me that she has a boyfriend. And I know this by token of how I come across, because I'm aware of how I'm coming across at all times. Okay. So today we're going to talk about mindset when you, this is a little bit of a tangent, but today we're going to talk about mindset when you're approaching girls. And we're going to talk about a little bit about meditation and why that might have a little to do with it. Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit and let's jump into the first few seconds of me approaching this girl. So I approached this girl, I'm like, you're gorgeous. One of the first things I said to her was that I feel that you're attractive. I feel attracted to you. You're attracted, or you're gorgeous, or you're very beautiful. And I say it when I mean it, and I say it in such a way where the girl can't help but be captivated to my statement. And here's the reason. The reason is because I'm being completely authentic in that moment. Why does meditation have something to do with it? So, before I tell you this, I want to say that I'm going to give you 3 things about mindset on top of that. So, if you're not a big believer in meditation, it doesn't matter because you can take away the mindset bits and they're going to help you. But why is meditation so important when you're approaching girls? Here's why. Ideally, when you're approaching a girl, you don't want things to turn official and corporate. So when you approach a girl, usually what's going to happen is this. You're going to go like, hi, I like your style, I like your purse, whatever. And then one of the next moves is going to be, so what's your name? And the moment you ask her, what's your name, is the moment where things become corporate. Things become official. It's the moment where this illusion of approaching this girl and having this vibe with a stranger, but in a way where it feels like you're friends, it feels like you've known each other forever, just crashes, and like you come back to reality, and now this stranger is asking you your name because you are, after all, strangers. How can we avoid this thing from ever happening and bringing this illusion to reality, which is, it's not actually an illusion, it's like a real thing. You don't have to be strangers with somebody off the bat. You can be friends right off the bat, immediately. And when you choose to ask them for their name, it's the moment where you take distance and like this thing becomes not real again. So how can we just seamlessly bring this all the way from approaching and being instant friends to creating a connection, a real connection and a relationship? And the answer to that is we need to come clean. Quote unquote, come clean. We need to confess something. We need to confess our feelings. We need to confess the real reason why we went there. And the problem is, and you will know this, you will notice this from your own behavior, and if you haven't experienced it, I invite you to go out and make the experience for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. You have experienced it where the moment you say, you convey your real intention, the moment that you say the compliment, is the moment where you have to look away. There's so much force in your eye contact where you just can't keep it. You have to like kind of like look to the side, or you cannot be steady and grounded and stable like right here. You cannot do that. The reason is that once you are trying to be this real with somebody and convey your true feelings, your innermost truth, that I found you attractive, in that moment you have to become so vulnerable, because you are exposed to rejection, but your like very deep inner core truth is what's exposed to rejection in that moment. It's if you look a girl in the eye and truly say, I found you super attractive, but you actually mean it, and she rejects you there, she rejects the real you, and this is really gonna hurt. So what's happened is that through the years and eons of rejection and fucking hardship, you've tried to cover this eye contact in that very moment with either looking away, or if you force your eye contact to stay there, what's going to happen is that you're going to transmit emotions that are not kosher for that moment. So emotions like anger and fury and resentment and regret and deep fucking guilt and shame, and all of that is in that very moment. It's all of that is like just fucking is summed up in that, like that very millisecond is what gives you away, so to speak. And you're gonna avoid that. So what happens is that because of that, you cannot seamlessly translate the I just came to you and we're instant friends, and there's an instant vibe, to yes, we have a real connection now. You have to backtrack and make these things corporate and ask about shit that you do not give a shit about. Like her name. You don't give a shit about what she's called. You can find that out later. Like, and I'm sure you've had that once or twice in your life where you just chatted with somebody. It was like a completely chill moment with no agenda. Nobody had an agenda, and you just fucking vibed. And you saw that like half an hour went by, and you both just realized, oh my God, we don't even know each other's names. That's how it's supposed to happen. That's the vibe. Here's why meditation is so important. Because meditation, if you do it right, it can start taking away all the feelings of guilt and shame and anger that you've accumulated by having been vulnerable in the past. And having put these feelings in the way so that you don't anymore stand the chance of getting hurt in situations like these. Of course, that's very detrimental to your life in a general sense. Exhibit A, the moment where you can't look a girl in the eye and create and continue your friendship that you just seamlessly, in a very cool way started. So, if you want to meditate, I'll make another video. I'll link it here somewhere on how to do that. But this is why this is very important. So with that said, now that you kind of understand that there might be some value in that, let me leave you with a cliffhanger and have you jump to the next video that I'm going to do and talk a little bit about mindset. So there's 3 things about mindset when you're approaching a girl that I want you to pay attention to. The first one is having fun. I don't want you to take the interaction or the girl seriously. She won't take you seriously either, and if you do that, you stand the chance of, making things not corporate, keeping things casual. So have fun. Make fun of the girl. Make fun of yourself. Don't take any of this seriously. Resist the urge. Resist it to ask for her name, to ask for information that you don't give a shit about. I was having a call with a client the other day, and it was a situation where the girl says, I'm from Vienna, and my client goes, ooh, Vienna, that's very interesting. She doesn't fucking feel that. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't fucking think that it's interesting. Why is he saying that? That is taken away from the originality and from the authenticity. And authenticity is something that's very, very attractive to girls. Authenticity is incredibly fucking attractive. So you gotta stay authentic. So that's one. So have fun, and when you're having fun, you need to stop asking for things that you're not interested in. A great way to do that is to catch yourself in the act. To literally monitor for that during the interaction. To listen for this unoriginal voice. Like, you'll catch it if you're honest with you, or you can be honest with yourself. If you are asking a girl questions that you're not interested in, snip it right then and there. If you must, fucking leave the interaction to punish yourself. That you did something bad, you're leaving the interaction, you're banned from this girl for life now. Assuming that you approach enough girls, in your day-to-day life. If you don't know how to do that, by the way, grab the link below, because this is what I teach. So assuming that you do that, punish yourself, leave the interaction. You're banned from this girl. You've lost her forever, and now you're not gonna make the mistake again. It's gonna hurt so much because you might have liked this girl. So it hurts so much that you caught yourself asking a question that you weren't interested in the answer of, that you're not going to do it again. So, returning to the original point, keep having fun. Don't ask about things that you're not interested in. And make jokes. Fucking make fun of the girl. Make fun of yourself, like I said before. Let's briefly talk about qualification. One of the most important things when you're approaching a woman, when you're creating a connection with a woman, specifically a woman you haven't met before, is qualifying her. Making sure that she's a good fit for your life. Why? Because number one, you need people that fit your lifestyle, that are good for you. And you need to be honest with who you are, so that the people that are not good for you automatically get filtered away. And number two, once you do that, the girl gets the idea that you're a guy who's got values, principles, and boundaries, and not anybody, or not just anybody, is invited into his life. So that makes you higher value. That gives you status as a behavior that exhibits that you're a man of status. That will make you in and of itself more attractive. So I want you to do that. Okay, good. Qualifying the girl, one of the best ways to qualify the girl is to make fun of her. Because sure, you're approaching her actively because she's pretty, because that's one of the things that you want. But the next bit, you're not sold yet. The next bit is to qualify her, to see if she really is the girl for you. And what better way to qualify her than to make fun of her, than to just, like the Brits say, take the piss, to see if she can handle being made fun of, if she's a cool girl. So, zooming out, adding to the context, what's happening here is that you are approaching the girl because she's cute, but at the same time, you're not sold yet. You want to qualify her to make sure that she's also cool. What better way to qualify the girl than to make fun of her and see if she can take the pressure? If she can, cool, she passed the test. And, by the way, let her make fun of you as well. Like, you need to be equally cool and pass her tests. It's only fair. It's only fair. Now, number two, no fear. The moment you exhibit fear, girl is gone. Like, she is, it's not gonna work. Okay. How do we show no fear? By controlling the interaction and controlling yourself. By realizing there is nothing to actually fear. I know it's very scary to go up to a girl, ask her for her name, be witnessed by the surrounding people doing something out of the ordinary, risk being rejected. All of that shit is I've had people who are literal fucking gangsters that have worked with me. And people that, police officers, people at gunpoint, or not at gunpoint, but who have had situations where they've been at gunpoint and maintained composure, who will fucking fold under the pressure of a girl. I understand. It's a scary thing. But you only need to zoom out or kind of like put the attention back on yourself and realize that there's nothing to be scared of. Like, you will not be murdered, or nobody's gonna call the cops on you for approaching a woman, and unless you're like hurting her or harming her in some way. But just don't do that. Just don't harm people generally. I mean, like, I'm sure you didn't come to the video for this tip, but yeah, there you go. But yeah, no fear by controlling yourself. How do you control yourself? Putting mindfulness back on yourself. That's why meditation is also kind of important for this bit, because meditation tends to increase the amount of control that you have over your own awareness. So when we approach a girl, our awareness is on her. Why? Because we are scanning her to see if what we're doing is working. Fucking terrible. Make sure that you can put your awareness on her on command. If you want, you can put it back on yourself. If you do that, you will start noticing things like how uneasy you are, how you might be fidgeting with your hands, how you're not standing upright. Okay, once you are able to command your attention wherever you want it, the fear is going to go away, because you're going to be able to do things like stand your ground when you're approaching a girl, not starting to run after her if she starts moving away. So standing your ground and projecting your voice at the same time, if she starts kind of rolling off, is what's attractive and the thing that will make her stay instead. Opt or choose to stay, even though she kind of started to walk away. So things like that. No fear. Have fun, have no fear. And third, and most important, move the interaction forward. This is about leadership, and it's about you having a purpose, not specifically an agenda, but a purpose. Like, you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know how to get it. That means you know that you want a specific type of girl, and I'm gonna make a video about exactly how to do that, how to figure out exactly who you want and why that is incredibly important. And you know that you want a specific type of girl, and you know how to examine if she is that girl, and you know how to move the interaction forward. So be mindful of doing that. Just move the interaction forward. At every step, you know, okay, cool. I saw her. I must approach. Cool. I am with her. I must examine her, qualify her. Cool. She's the one. She's cool. I like her. Now we can do something together. We can move something together. How am I going to control myself to have the most fun, be the most charismatic, and make sure that I broadcast the most attractive signals to her so that she can be attracted to me? So that I win. So that she also wins by getting me. Understand how all these dynamics work. If you can't lead, the woman, even if she likes you, is not going to lead. She's not going to want that, and she's not going to like that. I was on a date 2 nights ago with a girl from an Eastern country, and it was beautiful how she was expecting me to lead and also letting me lead. Of course, if a girl doesn't let you lead, you've already made a mistake beforehand, but this is advanced stuff. This is stuff that we look at in detail. Let's put it there. But what I was trying to say is that we got up to go to the next bar, and she gets up and she goes to the corner waiting for me to take the lead, to walk in front. So understand that leadership is a big thing or a big attraction switch for women, and moving the interaction forward, moving life forward, yeah, it's a big component. So have fun, no fear, move it forward. If you can do these three things, dude, you're already halfway there. You're already fighting a winning battle. Okay, so with that said, thanks for coming to the video. Subscribe to the channel because mindset stuff is coming up. And leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.